Hello and welcome to the Beyond. I am your hostess of the mostest, Madame Leota. Hello and welcome to another video and a community that believes weird is wonderful and magic is real. And welcome to what the title will probably say, the biggest Halloween haul we've probably ever done. And we had to pull some things out. So without further ado, we have a lot to show you. Let's go. Lumos. Now, we have a number of stores we got items from, but the biggest amount of items, the largest amount of items definitely come from Michaels and Homegoods, but we'll also include a bit of the TJ, Maxx, and the Ross, and a little bit of the fancy places like Anthropologie and Williams Sonoma. So what I'm going to start with first is Michaels. And apologies, we are going to breeze through this. And the things that really need detail, I will make sure to give a breath to them, but we have so much to show you. But first, I am a floral loving girl. These did not come from Crate & Barrel. It's just how I had to get this sorted out. Also not from World Market. Oh, we have World Market too. I have a number of florals and I'm just going to show you what's in the bag. So there are a number of garlands in here. We have these gorgeous roses. Let me show you those in a little bit more detail, but we will be showing you these in greater detail when we do a decorate with me, but I wanted to start with these so you can see the color palette we are going for. I mean, I introduced myself as Madame Leota, so we have a lot of purples and blues and grays and blacks and some little berry bits. We'll get into that. There's the blue right there. Some branchy businesses. There is a lot of florals. I did get me some nice discounts on that, so I have bags of florals. We have other things too that are just classic all around pieces that just add to the coziness of the place that you will see when we do either decorate with me's or I've already done decorated. Here's what I did. Whatever I decide, there will be decorating. And I should say the florals are going to be used in a number of ways, from wreaths to putting out like this, but that'll all be done in those videos. Next up are a couple of decor pieces, and a lot of these are coming from the Dead Regency line that you all know I loved so much, and you loved that video so much. Thank you very much. And so many of you said, I love these items, and I responded, well, I got them. And those are the two velvety, I would say damask pillows. So this one in particular caught my attention because they both give me the Haunted Mansion vibes. It's not just because it's purple, it's the right kind of purple, and it is like a damask print. It's not the same damask print. It doesn't have to be. You know, we're going for an in-world vibe with Haunted Mansion. We'll talk about that, but it's got a nice black background. It is that crushed velvet, so it's really, really soft. And then I got the opposing one, and I got two of each of these. I hope this is coming off camera, but it does have a damask print on there as well. And it is raised. I think we kind of showed that in the video, but there it is. So I know a couple places these might be going in. And yeah, I had to get at least two of each of those. We're going to break up the purple real quick. The only standout piece is all on the floor. It's a hot mess. That I picked up that's going to be going in the Rumpus room when we do a Halloween tree. I picked up a set of bulbs. So I have two sets. And they are little jack-o'-lantern bulbs. We have a black one. We have just a plain orange kind of shiny business. And it just rotates that way. So we got two because it is a silhouette tree. It's, it's smaller. So we need room for the actual ornaments. And we will talk about in a video the color palette that we're going for this year. I don't know how much we'll pull off in the whole room, but we can definitely bring you along with us. It's going to be a different vibe than is the rest of the spooky house. Actually, the whole house is all going to be different vibes, but quite different from that room. All right, I'm going to call these decorating accessories. Some of the stuff lights, that are pretty basic, but really essential. If you're going to do a spooky, just all year round situation, you're going to need some lights. And we only ever opt for LED. And I did notice, because I'm going for more purples this year, that I'm not so sure we have purple lights. So I did pick these up. These are going to be more useful for just like intertwining and things where you don't really want to see it, whether it's a wreath or kind of in a garland behind something. Because I mean, I was watching somebody else say this, but rule number one, hide your cords. If you can hide your cords, hide your cords. It takes away the ambiance when you see all of that. Speaking of wreaths, now I can't guarantee they'll go on wreaths, but it is what I thought I would do when I saw them. They are these iridescent spiders. So first up, they are a set of 2. This one is white. And I think when I first saw it, I kind of passed on it. And then I saw, I'm just down for a shiny business. Okay, you guys, I even almost got those like holographic skull pillows, if you saw, from the iridescent moon line that are just like really in your face, like cosmic. This felt a little bit more subtle, and I liked the white because if you lean a lot of black, it brings a nice pop. But I did also get some black ones here, and they have that same iridescentness and going on. Yeah, it's totally a word. Okay. And they are just plastic spiders. I've used these before. I like them a lot. They're easy to use. And then this is an item that I have like gone down the rabbit hole with Christmas and not really Halloween. And I'll probably use these for wreaths. Mainly, actually mainly for bows specifically, but maybe other things. I got ribbon. So I got 2 sets of this ribbon. Here's the actual print on it. So it's like a raised crushed velvet. Again, we're going to keep using the word damask because that is basically what this print is. Ribbon, and it has this really pretty gray blue, which I feel like really reads Haunted Mansion. Speaking of which, to pair with it is this like glittery blue sort of sheer, not super sheer, enough sheer. See, there we go. But like if I hold it up to this, I just thought it was a really pretty pairing. So we got us some ribbon. Let's do the signs. I got 2 signs. There were a number of them. I'm mildly tempted to buy a few more. I wouldn't say this particular one is my top one, but I feel like it could be just like it could blend in and be subtle because the way it's made and cut is a little bit modern. And it's this Happy Hauntings wood block sign. And again, the color palette, this is from the Dead Regency line, is just giving me Haunted Mansion vibes. Also a bit of Sleepy Hollow, Headless Horseman. Obviously, Headless Horseman fits into Haunted Mansion. Fits into a lot of things. And I felt like if I can put this in a place to kind of hide the sort of squareness of it, then it can work. And I just liked the coloring. But the sign, and actually one of the first pieces I bought before I even went out and recorded that video, is their large Home Sweet Haunted Home sign. So I liked a number of things about this sign, and I have a number of Michael's signs. And I will say some of the signs are not always the best quality, and it's really nice to see in person. So I was happy to see it in person, but it has, like, again, the color palette I feel like is very Haunted Mansion-ish. I liked the purple roses, the little pointiness right here. We have a black frame, which makes the white, like, really pop. And then some gold throughout. We will definitely be playing with gold as well as silver, I think. I was gonna lean just silver, but I think gold is of that time. But yeah, and then this is like a wood cutout letters that are on top of it. So I feel like this might sit on a shelf. We will talk about it when we talk about a room that we may or may not be doing a theme of, if I haven't already said it, as Haunted Mansion. So we are getting quite a number of supplies from, you know, Michael's to Disney to all the places. But that is not the last sign because I just remembered there is one more. And this one I did order online. I have not seen it in the store. I've seen other people see it in the store, but not me. And this one's actually metal. And it says, Historical Site Haunted House. And it is black. And it's got like a brushed, kind of brassy gold look to it. And it says, touch nothing and nothing will touch you. I was a little nervous this coming in. I thought it was going to be really poorly made. You just never know. And I didn't hate it. So there's the back of that. Does it have? Oh yeah, the hooks are on either side here because it is a flat piece. I haven't figured out exactly where I'm going to put that one, but we are like basically a witchy, spooky haunted house. We're just combining all the things I love. we basically have a whole other section, and that section is pumpkins. And the kinds of pumpkins I honestly didn't think I was gonna dabble in, and that is like fabric pumpkins and glass pumpkins. One of them is not, but let's start with the fabric because these were the first ones that I picked up, and I never thought I would get something like this because like when I first looked at items like this in the past at like Homegoods, I felt like they just looked really gaudy. But anyway, these came, there were 3 different varieties, and when you ordered them online, you didn't get to pick which one you wanted. So that kind of sucked, but I didn't order it online. I got it in the store. So I did like the really pale purple one, but we decided on this deeper velvet. So it's just like a lace over top the fabric. And then I like the stem. I think I would say it's probably like a hard, well, I guess resin is hard, but probably resin. And this one really contrasts it quite a bit. Obviously it's black, but then it's using like a lace silver there. And these pumpkins are like flat, if you can't tell, or flatter. So there's the top of it. And there's that. So we have us, that is like my first fabric felt pumpkins. I just feel like the fabric and especially a laciness can bring in more of that Victorian Gothic vibe, a little bit of that femininity, which I'm trying to lean into a little bit more. And then the other kind of pumpkin I never thought I'd get are the glass ones. So I got these 2, part of the Dead Regency line. We have the smaller one, and as I pointed out in the video, they have like a different kind of texture to them. And then we have this larger one right here, and it is just very like lightly painted on top. When I'm holding it here, it looks darker than it is. It's quite see-through, but I just felt like the purple color plays really well with Haunted Mansion. And the last 2 pumpkins, if you'll notice, I got these in sets of 2, but at least for both 2 of them, I made sure the sizes were a little bit different, so there was something different about them. I got these kind of floral, like resin pumpkins. So we have a slightly taller one, and then more of your regular size pumpkin. Like, let's take a look at this one. But basically both of them have this pattern, this raised pattern. It's like the right kind of ghostly blue, in my opinion, with that little bit of, you know, lighter blue white on the outline. And then it has a gold stem right there. And like, let me hold it up to these pumpkins. I just feel like it plays really well together. I love it. I love me a pumpkin. All right, the final bits, and I have a good bit left of Michael's. I'm just going to call this general decor. And this one, okay, maybe this isn't decor, but it is that palette that they've been doing and is the Haunted Mansion vibe of the black and purple. And it is a jewelry, like accessory holder. So it just opens up. I did show it when we were looking around. Looks like it mostly holds like rings, necklaces and bracelets, which would get tucked in there. But I just gravitated toward the print. It is like a faux leather with that pop of like a gold brass color. Yeah, I just call gold and brass the same thing. Come at me. Okay, I know they're not the same thing. So I got that. That's going to be probably a little bit more tucked away. But then I got a piece that I have another version of this, but from Joann. And it is this black glass like container. And it just has this like almost spiky bit. It's a little bit see-through. I just felt like it was a nice basic piece. Obviously it's black, but it's very simple in its style, but still different. So I feel like it's going to go really well in the Haunted Mansion room. That's right. We're just saying it. And that is a lid that does come off. Is there silicone? There's not silicone. So you're going to have that, you know, glass on glass sound. Maybe not food in there. And then a piece that at least 1 or 2 of you commented about, and you know I got my hands on because this one actually gives a different vibe, and that is the Slytherin common room. Because I picked up that, not ghostly, I was going to say, the skeleton mermaid piece. Are we getting it? I feel like I'm getting it. It's the piece that, there were a number of prints in this, but I just had to get the mermaid. So it's a mermaid that like turns into a skeleton, and I loved the frame. This is for sure And it is a frame that you can just set out. It's a nice small size, so it could fit on like maybe a bookshelf, and that's likely where it's gonna go, unless I was doing like a collage, because the Slytherin room is a smaller room, so having a small piece on the wall would be fine too. But yeah, I just had to get it because it takes the whole Black Lake, mermaids live there and swim there, and makes it a little bit creepy. I know Slytherins aren't necessarily creepy, but I am one and I'm creepy. So it's my vibe. Last two pieces, part of the decor, are lighting pieces. This first one, she's classic. She's a lantern. I had to get this lantern first off because it was 30% off, and whenever they were dropping their newer lines, they were not doing a percent off unless you shopped online. And this is like got the cathedral like arc vibes, and I just had to have it. I appreciated the detail on this. So it's got a handle just like any lantern. I love the detail right there. And then we have like our cathedral kind of window vibe, and I like that here, but it's on every side there. And then it does open up right here. And if you watch the video, these do come in 2 sizes, and I got the larger one. I really wanted it to stand out. And as far as what I'm going to put inside, well, you will find that out when we decorate together, or I decorate and you see what I did, but it's likely going to be some form of a candle or lighting of some kind. Maybe one of my favorite pieces from Michaels, and I only saw it once in person. I don't think I've ever seen it online. Had to have it. My eyeballs have been on items like this, and they can be quite pricey. And it is this lamp right here. Ignore the ginormous tag. Let's get it on the actual lamp. So they didn't go like super duper plain. It is in a way that it lets this top piece pop, but there is a bit of a design to it. I don't know, it gives me kind of a little bit of a tree vibe, but still kept quite simple. It's a matte black. And then this piece, what? So this seems to be like actual glass, and it does have these little like beads in there. And it's just of the time. And it's very much like a tabletop piece. This is a smaller lamp. So I could see this going in a number of places, from like on my countertop to in the Haunted Mansion bedroom. I have just said it. She's out there in the world. And that is a wrap on Michaels. We are now moving on to another big kahuna, Homegoods, the place that is filling my entire house. I'm going to start with, actually, I'm going to leave the big piece for the end, that if you've been watching, you may have a sense of what it might be, and you'll find out if your guess is correct. The first piece I'm going to start with is one that I have been looking for quite some time, and I messaged a friend, and that friend apparently already picked it up for me for a Christmas gift and gave it to me now. So I really appreciate you, ma'am, and that is this set of candles. So if you already know, I don't normally do shaped candles. These are bats, okay? Bats, I make exceptions, especially really gorgeous bats, and I just have not seen them. Again, if you do, let a girl know, because I'd like another set. They are gorgeous. Do I know if I'm gonna burn them yet? I don't, but look at them. Like the wings, like the packaging is also quite cool. These are only $7.99. And the wing goes like all the way down here. It's like the bat just like wraps around. And again, I just feel like bats really suit a Haunted Mansion vibe and just my vibe in general. So I love, love, love them. Actually, let's keep the candles. We have a simple but classic black and white jack-o'-lantern candle. There's the actual candle, and this is Sand and Fog, which is a really regularly abundant candle brand that you'll see in Homegoods and TJ Maxx and all the places. And I just felt like the black and white was just, it's just a simple classic vibe. It has the nice shape. I like the way that they did the texture a little bit there. And the candle is vanilla pumpkin. So to me, like it just hits all the spots for a like fall vibe in the scent of a candle. The next item I got is similar but different to an item that I picked up at Michaels in a previous haul. It is another really small frame. Do not pass up really any section at Homegoods. Even if you don't see all the black and the orange, go down it. You never know what's going to be down there. I think this maybe was on an end cap, and I was looking at frames, and there were not like, it was just a couple of frames, and it was just in there. And it's this skeleton, like rose covered frame at the top. And you know, I love me, sorry, not skeleton, but the skull of a skeleton. I love me a skull. I love me a skeleton. And I just felt like this was very classic and simple. If you remember, the frame that I got from Michael's was a bat. So it's at least something different. I don't want everything like repeating too much. Like, I'm fine with the black on black, but just doing a different sort of imagery with it. I also like that the skull's mouth is open, but it is a smaller frame. And again, you could like put it on the wall, or you could like display it on a tabletop. Let's actually do the dinnerware, because I have a number of like dinner kitchenware items. First up, this larger piece right here from the Bake Shop line. Did I need one of these items? Is that grammatically correct? Did I need one of these items? I did. I did. I already have one of these items, and it is a like cupcake holder. I don't know what they call it exactly. And mine's just a basic B. Okay, we are not a basic B anymore because we have a black, I mean, it's see-through right here. We got a black base. It's in a pumpkin shape. So the handle is like a gold color. It is plastic, you know, it's just holding your cakes and keeping them fresh. And I want to do some baking this Halloween season. Of all the kinds, and this sucker was like $13, so it's going to be a one in, one out situation, so we'll be letting go of the other one, and it's going to be a pumpkin all year round, okay? Continuing with the dinnerware, we have acquired way more of these this year than I have in previous years, and I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. And those are plates. So we have 3 plates here, 2 side plates. So we have this one right here. We got like a spooky house. Is that a witch on there? Yeah, we got a little witch design in the middle and this really pretty pattern. One thing I will say about my plate set, my plateware, is I don't really do plate sets. Now, I do regret not getting multiples of the stripy black and white plate slash bowl. Love it so much, and I wish I got extras. But I do tend to lean quite heavily in the black and the gray. So it's nice to have a few that are white. And this one, it just gives like a little feminine vibe, I feel like. I like the gold, simple, witchy. And then actually all of these are pretty white predominant, except this one has a lot of design going on. We have skulls and florals, and this is bringing in more golds, which I don't have a lot of in my kitchenware. And it's even on the trim, and it's loud and proud on the back there. I definitely don't have a plate that is like gold on the back. And it's like, it's $7. That was $7. This was $6. Like, this is why I can't pass up on it. Homegoods. And then the last one is this plate right here. And one thing I always keep in mind, and we'll talk about it in another plate we'll be showing in this video, is the spacage right here. So just kind of remembering when you have your food on the plate, where you're gonna, like, what of the design are you actually gonna see, and kind of pay attention to that. So this one, you're obviously going to be seeing the trim, which is this skeleton trim, and it is gold. Clearly, these were part of the same line, but you can see they kind of are a little different, but they are both gold underneath. In the kitchen, another item you might need are some towels. And we did point this out in a video that a lot of the towels at Homegoods, and not just Homegoods, you know, TJ Maxx, they all own each other, are not super absorbent, but there are some that are. It really depends on the texture. And this one I would say is probably not super absorbent, but there are uses. It's not just decorative. And I couldn't resist. I saw it once. I'm pretty sure I showed it in a video. And you guys, it's cats. I can't help myself with cats. And it felt like this one was a little bit of, it was almost cutesy, but not quite fully there. I also felt like the eyes could give a little bit of like a either Forbidden Forest or Haunted Mansion vibe. And a cat especially a black cat, goes with just about anything witchy or Haunted Mansion, and is definitely all year round. So they're really, really soft. So for towels like this, I would, you know, still use it for decorative purposes, but also to like hold something warm or like wipe my hands on and wash them. And I like one that is a little bit darker for something like this, because if I do wipe my hands on it, you'll never know. There's a reason I wear black, okay? I'm not the smoothest operator. We have covered this a number of times. Okay, decor. Actually, we're just gonna call it pumpkins. We're continuing with the pumpkins, and I feel like these play so well with the ones that I just showed you. And the first one is a fabric pumpkin. It was actually down the aisle of like fall stuff, so I almost didn't go down that aisle a number of times. It's not that I don't like fall, it's just I don't generally find decor down there that I feel like fits in. And I really, really liked the color of this. I don't know if sage is the right word. I guess maybe somewhere up there. And this sucker is like $9. To be fair, it's basically a piece of styrofoam underneath that's shaped like a pumpkin. They put the fabric over top and they glued the sucker on the top. So well aware, but I still liked it. So yeah, I feel like this color, again, I feel like this color could go into the Haunted Mansion because it is like a gray, but also pulling in green. Could also go in the Slytherin room. So that's why I liked it. It sort of had a multi-place purpose, and I like to rearrange constantly. I did it recently with my shelves. It's just refreshing, and having pieces that can actually move in other places. And one of the other reasons we stopped doing the Gryffindor room is just it gives more versatility and longevity with your stuff. My most recent purchases at HomeGoods and pumpkins are glass ones. So first up, I have this one. It is a taller glass pumpkin. It is a deep, dark purple. I'm not sure if you could tell on camera. And then the stem has this little bit of gold in there. And we'll come back to this one in a hot second because I want to show you these together. But this one is maybe one of my favorite pieces. It might be my favorite pumpkin acquisition, but maybe one of my favorite pieces from HomeGoods. We'll get to another one. But it was also down the fall aisle and in the stuff that I just wouldn't normally pick up. It is this gorgeous, it's actually coming off more green than purple, glass pumpkin. So I don't know if you could see it, but it is, when I'm looking at it, it's predominantly purple, but it has this like blue, green, like an aqua glitter kind of over top. I mean, it's underneath the thing. And then the stem is like maybe stainless steel. It's a metal of some kind, but like a silvery, deep gray color there. And I just loved it because I felt like the purple and the aqua color really read Haunted Mansion. It's pulling in some of the two like prominent colors that are not black or gray. And the other cool thing about this pumpkin, so, and this one as well, let me show you them together. I liked that they're different textures, they're different heights, they're different widths, all of that, is they light up. So when you light it up, it gives a completely different vibe. I wasn't sure because when you're at HomeGoods, there are not batteries included, so you couldn't test it out. So let's test it out. There it is. For some reason on camera, it's coming off like there's a lot of green in there, but in person, you can kind of see a little bit of the green. It mostly reads very white, and then you get a little bit of this like purple sparkle. It's so cool. It's so different from, oh, you can actually see the lights. It is just string lights in there, I will say that. And I will also say they don't make it so you can easily like take those lights out and do something different. You can manage to get that thing off if you want to. And that'll eventually happen when the lights die. But yeah, I feel like it's not reading as well on camera as it is in person. It's really cool in person. And I'll show you the other one real quick. Yeah, that's really not reading on camera. Like it's basically a bunch of string lights. I'll be honest, I'm probably leaving these off more than I am on, but I liked that there were like two options you can do with these. All right, we are standing up because we have a much larger piece. We will get into a couple of like TJ Maxx, you know, the same ownership thing. But as far as the last item from HomeGoods, take your guess right now. If you recall, there were a couple of mirrors that we looked at and they were both, what the heck is his name? Christian Lacroix. Which of the two do you think I got? Some of you basically guessed it in the comments or just said it was your favorite of the two. And it was my favorite as well. And I'm gonna have to take it out of the box, but let me show you in the box. I got that Christian Lacroix skull and bat, like bronze mirror. I had to have it. Let's take it out and show you. It's out of the box in all of its glory. Here is that mirror, but we have this skull and bat situation. So here's the side right there. It just felt like it gave it more of an aged look. If you saw the other one in that video, I really liked a lot about it, but it just felt like it didn't have that finesse and that sort of older vibe that I felt like this one would fit in. The other one also was tabletop. You could hang it up, but it had the tabletop option. This one is only to be hung up. Yeah, it is so hard to show you. But this is probably, and apparently it's like a super coveted, hard to find. So I feel like I actually got lucky for once, finding this in the store. But yeah, I love, love, love it. I don't think this was one of the cheaper items, but honestly, I felt like it was quite reasonably priced. And I don't know if his stuff is sold anywhere else. And I've certainly never seen it anywhere else. So I had to have it. I didn't know if it was going to come out next year. And I feel like this could fit in a couple rooms. I even feel like it could fit in here. I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards the Haunted Mansion vibe, because I don't have any other mirror in that space right now, or set aside to decorate that space. That is the last Homegoods item. Sorry for all of the lights. It is a difficult thing showing a mirror. All right, similar to Homegoods, but just not quite to the level. We have TJ Maxx and Ross and Marshalls and all those things. And really, I only have 2 items. I've gone there again and again. We have shown a number, I think, from TJ Maxx, and that's normally the next place that I buy from. Ross, really, honestly, most of the time at Ross, I feel like is not worth going to. And then Marshall is really rare. Marshall's is really rare for me to find something. So my favorites out of all of them would be Homegoods and then TJ Maxx. But ironically, this next item is from Marshalls, and it is an item that maybe I didn't need, and I will be swapping a 1-for-1 situation because I have a not a death day. I have a dark mark version of this, but I'm going to be letting that go and selling it and keeping this one. And it is a tumbler. But more specifically, it is a corksicle tumbler. And if you're familiar with corksicle, I mean, in my opinion, they're really great quality tumblers. They do keep your stuff warm. They hold up for a long time. And the one I have is the same size, and it just has a dark mark at the bottom. And I feel like you just don't see it very much. So I think that's the reason, I know that's the reason that I'm willing to part from it. Whereas this one is more of just like a Halloween, I don't know, threw up on this thing, but all black. So it's still in there, but like you're not going to not see the pattern. You've got like bats and spider webs, and witchy hats. And the other thing is corksicle, like, I don't remember specifically this size. This is a 16 ounce, are not cheap. They're not cheap items, but they are at Marshall's for $14.99. I actually did not know they sold corksicle there, so that is really cool. There's the top. It's just like a slide up lid. There are corksicles that are, I think, like with a straw, like bigger ones. But yeah, it is a vacuum sealed. Is that what it's called? Vacuum insulated, double walled. All the keywords, all of the terms. So I have a couple of new drinks from a number of hauls at this point. And then where's this from? TJ Maxx. Okay, so at TJ Maxx, and I wasn't sure if I wanted both of them, but I think I actually will keep both of them, are this set of hair ties by Piper K. And if you watch the vlogs, then you would have seen this in there. And we have basically 2 opposing scrunchies. We have a white one with skeletons all over in black, and then we have a black one with skeletons all over in white. Now, which one do you think I gravitated towards? It was definitely the black, but honestly, I kind of feel like branching a little bit kind of feminine, giving a little pop of something, maybe having a white scrunchie and like some like white skull earrings, so you're still pulling it in. At least that's how I do an outfit. So, and they're like a satin, which I really like, and they also liked how massive they are. So that is the last bit before we now, I think, we're getting into the fancy places. Is World Market fancy? I don't think so. Let's do World Market. So at World Market, I do love me some World Market. I feel like, I mean, we found some classic pieces in previous years and they still had them. So I already had those items. There wasn't a whole heck of a lot for me. I love their like general like homeware. Well, I love their food too. You gotta dig a little bit for the vegan stuff, but there's really good vegan desserts and soups and all the things. There are a couple of items. I did get a little sneak peek watching other people's videos before I went there. So there were 2 items I was considering getting. One of them was this, like, as it turns out, it was a plastic or maybe resin, a clear skull. I'll have it over here, and it lights up. And the only reason I didn't get it, and you never know, like, yeah, you can read measurements, but until you get into the store, you never really know, is it was just a little too big. Also, it just kind of read a little bit more plasticky than I wanted it to. Otherwise, I liked the idea, and I felt like it could, like, play really well, again, with, like, Haunted Mansion and Death Day Party, and just general Halloween all year round. So I really liked that, and I'm going to be keeping my eye out for, well, one more thing. So I'll just hold off sharing that in case I do get my paws on it because it wasn't in store. But the 2 items, because we only got 2 from the store. First up is this metal bat garland. Now, looking at it, I can tell you, when you see things, I don't want to tell you what to do. When I see things, I like to think a little bit outside of the box of, like, I don't have to use it the way they're telling me to use it. Or even if I want to modify it. Like, there's so many options you can do. It's up to you. Once you purchase it, it's your piece and you can do what you want with it. So when I saw this, and I saw it in somebody's video and was happy to see it in the store, my plan is to actually snip these. So they are metal pieces. You have little bats all over, and you could take it and you can intertwine it and stuff. I think this one might be a little challenging to do that and get it to be, like, where you want it to be. But what I'm going to do is snip the bat. Some of them I'll have to actually, you know, use wire cutters and snip so you don't see it protruding out of the top of it. But I'm going to leave the end. We'll do this, like, maybe either on camera or off camera. I'm going to show you regardless. So I can use them as picks and put them in a wreath so that these actually last a little bit longer than, like, a little felty business or something like that. And I can get some bats in my wreath. Or maybe also, even if the stem is long, just adding them to a bundle of flowers in a bouquet. That's what I got it for. So for me, it felt a little bang for your buck because I'm going to be kind of chopping it up and using it for a lot of different things. The last item from World Market I hadn't seen in anybody's videos, and I didn't see it online either because I took a sneak peek online too. And it was a piece that also, I think if I saw it online, maybe I wouldn't be convinced to buy it, but seeing it in person, he actually put it in the cart and I can tell why. It is this velvet skull. Can you even see it with all of the black? We have a velvet skull, but it has a nice weight to it. So I already liked that. It felt like the mold was nice. I feel like sometimes places really mess up the shape of a skull and it just, like, I'm like, is this actually human? Like, what are you going for here? So it felt like they got the right shape of the skull. And there's the base. And if you could tell by this base, this skull also lights up. And this is apparently what convinced him, because when you light it up, it is like a red light on the inside. It's very subtle, but it's a nice pop to the velvety black. But yeah, really, really like that. And that for now is the last item from World Market. The last places are often the last places I would go, even though I like a lot of their stuff. They're just a little too ritzy for me, mainly in LaCroix, okay? And they are 2 places. First up, let's start with Anthropologie. At Anthropologie, and if you didn't see that video, what are you doing? Okay, we try and drop the vlog so you can see all the stuff in person, and then I pick it up and I show you the things. But they had a whole section that apparently is like their bistro section, and they've done stuff like this style kind of all year round, mainly with their, like, alphabet. I forget what it's called. It's not my vibe, but the bistro part was. I just never gravitated toward, like, something with a letter on it. I just never have. But they had a whole spooky trick-or-treat situation, and I was tempted by a lot of things, but I did only get one, and it is a mug, and that mug is this trick-or-treat mug. So it's, what I mean by the bistro is this, like, I don't know, almost like a tile-like shape. If you've ever been to Anthropologie, like, just not in the holiday season, they have these all year round, but they just have, like, a letter. This one says treat on this side. It's got a nice black handle. I never even saw the bat over here. I knew about the other bat. So we have a bat there. And then this side says trick. And we have some flowers up top. I just like the contrast of everything. And the other thing is, look, you are paying the extra coin, but I was really appreciating the detail that they put into things. So inside they have a bat and it has like a similar style. It's not just solid black. And then wait, there's more on the back. And if you watched the video, you would have seen that, but all of the pieces, or there was variety in what was on the bottom of the piece. And on this particular one, it is like a black, I'm gonna guess this is like a lotus flower maybe, unless it's peonies, I can't really tell. But what's so cute about it is there's like a little spider over crawling on that flower. It's gorgeous. There were other spooky bits on other plates, but I will say I have done a number of declutters that I have not shown you. I went a little crazy after coming back from Disney. I have a lot of thoughts to share with you, but I did declutter a number of mugs, some of which are still up for sale. So, you know, once you declutter, you now have room for more. This one will not be all year round because it is like trick or treat. Unless, I don't know, unless we become a Halloween place all year round. But right now, stuff that says trick or treat is just coming out Halloween time. If it were just bats and skulls and stuff, then it would just be all year round. All right, this place, I definitely really, I don't know if I've ever purchased from them ever. This might be the first time I've ever bought anything from them. And I have seen, this is more dinnerware, I have seen some dinnerware from their Halloween lines in previous years, and particularly their witch stuff. Because they've done witch stuff before and they did it again. And I was so tempted last year. One thing I will say is, did I mention where? It's Williams Sonoma. At Williams Sonoma, at least online, they were only selling a lot of these things in sets. So it did feel really pricey to me because mostly I didn't need a set of 4 plates. I like a good mix and match situation. But in store, you were able to pick up one of them. So I did get one of 2 different kinds of things. And we'll continue with the mugs. So I got the witchy mug, and this mug's a little different for me, kind of like the plates at HomeGoods. I wanted something that was more white. I don't do a lot of white, but because I do a lot of black, you know, she pops a lot more. But we have this witch, and I'm pretty sure it's like a similar witch to that we've seen in previous lines, but I feel like this line is just hitting so much harder, and I love, love, love the detail. I appreciate that, okay, you're paying more coin, and frankly, one of these was not that outrageous, and I'll say that for both items I got at Williams Sonoma, but they put the detail in. So you got like these skulls at the top, and they are raised, which I appreciate. And then it's separated by like a nice black, pretty floral. And then there's our witch flying on a broom in the back. And then there's also like a little bit of a gold and black trim there. The other thing about mugs, and I really like to have them in person, is I like a decent size, not too big, but also the handle. Like I still need to be able to put my, if I can only fit one finger, I'm not buying the mug. Okay. So it really helps to have in person. So I did get one piece. Well, I was very tempted. I just don't have that kind of coin to get the whole set. It was gorgeous. And if you didn't see that video, do go watch or go to Williams Sonoma, because their whole like tapestry situation, like the table runner and the napkins, if I could afford that, and I could, but then I wouldn't be able to afford a number of other things. It was so a Haunted Mansion vibe, and I love it so much. So I'm just hoping like either this year or in future years, I can find something similar, but at a more reasonable price. So I'm just happy with what I got. And the last item is part of that witchy line, and it is this gorgeous plate. So if you saw the video, there were 2 plates. This is the dinner plate. And the dinner plate has this nice like white center, and then the black trim. And it is like a little bit raised, but pretty much, you know, regular plate. It's not like leaning in the bowl direction. And then let's get her right side up. There is our witch flying on a broom, and love the trim. I love the kind of scallop situation going on here. And then the other thing that I loved, and it was really nice to see in person, is this raised skull. That's, I think there's like 4 of them total around the whole thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. And while I was tempted to get the salad plate, we did the whole trick of like, you know, using our eyeballs to see what portion of that would food actually be on. And it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. If we were getting it for decorative purposes, it was beautiful. And it goes really, really well with this. Like really impressed Williams Sonoma, I will say, with just the whole line in general of that dinnerware and the tapestry and all of that. But with the 2 pieces I got, They're just so pretty. They go really well together in like the contrast of black and white. But yeah, that is an interesting place to land on, is the one that I don't normally, or to finish on is the one I don't normally shop at. But I'm so happy with all the pieces. Honestly, this year feels like the best like hauling year for me for Halloween, just across the board. We've seen it come out earlier, but I feel like it's also better. Is it because Joanne left? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I feel like everybody's up their game, and I feel like just a lot of these stores are noticing that Halloween is in demand and the people like the spooky goods. So let me know if you liked these spooky goods, from the Haunted Mansion vibes to a little bit of Slytherin and a lot of the witchiness. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. But until next time, my magical friends, remember to love what you love with everything you have and keep making magic. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye! Let's start with intro. Ow, that hurt. Let's redo that.